Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everybody. The students of speaking class, public speaking. Our topic today is speech purposes and audience analysis. One of the topics in our class, public speaking class, is speak purpose and audience analysis. A good speaker always matches the purposes of speech with the audience need, interest, and expectation. That is the key of our lecturing today. Artinya, seorang pembicara yang baik itu, dia matching antara tujuan dia berpidato, tujuan dia memberikan sebuah narasi di hadapan publik dengan kebutuhan audiens, kepentingan dan harapan daripada audien. That is speech purposes and audience analysis. Therefore, we have to understand and we have to know what the purposes of our speech, and we have to know the audience of our speech. Learning objectives. By the end of this module, students will be able to identify the different purposes of a speech, match speech content and style to its intended purpose, understand the importance of audience analysis, analyze an audience to adapt message and delivery, prepare and deliver a speech tailored to a specific audience. By the end of our class, the students are hoped to be able to these objectives. Okay, I have sent to your before this link, and you may watch one by one in order to make it clear, and after the class we will discuss this video. Now we come to the theory. The speech purpose. Theoretically, a speech can have one or more of the following main purposes. The purpose to inform, persuade, to entertain, and inspirational. That is the purposes of speech. Informative speech is to inform. The goal is to increase the audience understanding or knowledge from the speech given. Example, someone or a lecturer, for example, give a speech about climate change or a presentation on new technology and a new change from the technology development. Key focus in informative speech is clarity, accuracy, supporting evidence. That is the key focus of informative speech. Next, persuasive speech. Persuasive speech is to persuade the audience. The goal is to influence the audience attitude, to influence the audience beliefs and the audience actions. So when you listen to the speech that make you attracted, and then you do something, that is the persuasive speech. For example, after dinner speech, a campaign speech, sales speech or debate. Debates in front of the public and campaigns and give the idea in front of the public, that is, as usual, is persuasive speech. The key focus of persuasive speech is strong argument, logical reasoning, emotional appeals. There is ethos, pathos, and logos. That is the key focus of persuasive speech. Next, entertaining speech. Entertaining speech is to provide enjoyment of the audience, to amusement or to engage the emotion of audience. For example, after dinner, after dinner speech, stand-up comedy, for example, storytelling. That is entertaining speech. The goal is to give uh, happiness and to give enjoyment to the audience. Next, the inspirational, or we can say motivational speech, is to uplift or to motivate the audience. Example, overcoming obstacles, follow your dreams. Another speech that can motivate the audience to do something, can motivate the audience to change and to do the action after listening to this speech. That is what I said. Next, audience analysis. Now, audience analysis is understanding your audience is crucial. Before you give a speech, you have to understand your audience. This is very crucial for effective communication. Audience analysis involves gathering and interpreting information about listeners to adapt the speech accordingly. There are 5 that should be considered in audience analysis. First, demographic analysis. Demographic analysis is to analyze the audience from the age, gender, education, occupation, culture, religion, socioeconomic status. When we try to analyze the audience from these sides, it means that you analyze your audience demographically. Example, a speech to high school student will differ in tone and vocabulary compared to one for professionals. Number 2, psychographic analysis. It is about the interests, values, attitude, lifestyles, beliefs of the audiences. Example, tailoring a persuasive speech on environmental policy for an audience already concerned about sustainability. And situational analysis is like audience size. How many people, how many audiences that listen to your speech? That is situational analysis. And also the time, location, mood, and expectation of the audience. That is situational analysis. And for audience disposition toward the topic, that is supportive, orally agrees with the speakers, goal is reinforcement. And then 5, audience need and expectation. That is the audience analysis, the basic theory of the audience analysis. Why audience analysis matters? To help select appropriate content, tone, and style, to ensure relevance and engagement, anticipate possible objection or question, and to increase the likelihood of achieving the speech purpose. That is the introduction to speech purposes and audience analysis, and we will continue our class with discussion and analysis of some speech. And then after that, you present your analysis result. Thank you very much, and see you next meeting. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.